Playing Medal of Honor European Assault. Welcome back, everybody. This game took me... Jesus Christ. This game took me like 8 hours to play through. I'm pretty sure 3 of those were just sitting in this menu idle listening to the music.
No, man, this is the best like main menu theme ever.
It is, you know, that's not a joke. It is probably.
I can't wait to hate this game because of the fucked controls.
Fuck Call of Duty. There's a difficulty higher than Veteran.
Whoa!
Remember last week our playthrough?
I'm just gonna play it on
Call of Duty Veteran.
I haven't played this game in ages. I don't think I've played this game
Plaberto.
well over 13, 14 years. When did this game come out? 2004?
2005.
Yeah, it's probably been... I don't think I played this game since Halo 3 came out.
I'm pretty sure I bought this game brand new. Like, and I was waiting for it.
All right,
I had
aim,
I had
fire,
previously played through Frontline.
Strafe, move.
What were the other ones? Frontline, Rising Sun, was that it?
Yes, and then there was...
There was Allied Assault.
Yeah, and then there was the parachute one.
Yeah, but that was after this.
Yeah.
That was Airborne.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one was alright.
It was okay. I liked the beginning of it. The end of it was kind of dumb. You're like, tower defense game against Germans with miniguns.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this? But I think there were 2 or 3 games before this, and I had played through all of those, and they were like, this is awesome. Frontline was great. And you're like, you know what? European Assault, I'll play the shit out of that. Oh, man.
I really wish that we could. I was in charge of like the audio in a theater, so it'd just be like Star Wars would come out, and all of a sudden just be and blown out, and the theater starts shaking.
Oh man, who said that? Helen Keller.
Have myself a beer.
Oh man, these are pretty good games. I thought they, you know.
I have fond memories of playing the split screen multiplayer with my friends on GameCube, no less.
I mean, World War II games at this point were kind of done to death.
Oh yeah, I mean this was at the very end of. I think the last real kind of old school World War II game was Call of Duty 3. If you remember that one, because this came out kind of around the time of Call of Duty
of that era anyway, because we've had World War II games since.
Oh yeah, because I mean I don't count World at Wars belonging to this era, because World at War is definitely a modern.
Well, there's also Call of Duty World War II.
Again, but that's different.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about in the middle of the World War II craze.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
I would fucking love an Assassin's Creed game in this time period.
Yeah,
even in like the First World War,
yeah,
we kind of got that in Syndicate, but
this doesn't look too bad.
Looks okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking 14 years old, so.
And fuck.
This game's almost old enough to have sex. The age of consent in Canada, by the way, is 16, so.
Which is weird. Oh man, we're the British.
I think there's a restriction on that though. Like you can't, like a 40-year-old dude can't fuck a 16-year-old.
I don't know.
Maybe they can't. I don't know.
It could be a limit. I don't know if it is or not. But just because they could doesn't mean they should. Sandy did a project on this raid in university. Yeah, he did a paper on it.
Oh my god, the ghosting. That's not a video thing, viewers. That's the game.
This is just hang on. Just use the sensitivity for me.
I mean, you can change the sensitivity.
Yeah, I know. It's just that's the default.
Yeah, this is coming from an era where. All right. Oh, do you press pause? Remember when I had to load the pause menu? Jesus Christ! They're coming from an era where it's to load every page in the thing too.
All right, we're gonna
turn that up. In an era where you had fucking massive interface and no field of view, because it was when people played video games on their TV screen 15 feet away, so field of view wasn't really a big issue. But if you play this on a computer screen...
Oh my god, like, okay, so hang on, just zoom in for me.
What is zoom? Click?
Left bumper.
Left bumper.
Yeah, just zoom.
That's real spongy.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard.
It's, okay. It's showing its age.
Okay, you also can't move while you're aimed in.
Oh, I remember that. Fucking, that was Resident Evil.
Because you gotta lean.
Oh yeah.
They give you lean. I remember.
Right, that was the thing in Airborne as well.
Yeah, I remember Sandy was so happy with the lean. He was like, "Oh, you can lean in this game." Yeah, I want to be able to move while I'm zoomed in.
Yeah, Sandy's a weird one though. He's like, let's play Conan, but let's make it really fucking difficult to get anywhere. Like, I'm totally fine with a video game being hard. Like
oh, that's a Nazi.
If you watch all of our content with any like serious interest, which is impossible because nobody does, it may seem as though I enjoy easy games. That's not necessarily the case.
You just hate Dark Souls.
I like difficult games, but I don't like when the game mechanics are arbitrarily
really hard.
inflated to create difficulty. Like when AI start cheating at the game, like a game will establish a set of rules, and then the AI start cheating. Then like that's shitty.
Oh, I got
difficulty.
a Tommy gun.
Nice.
So how do I reload?
What the fuck is this guy doing?
Oh, okay. I think I killed him.
Like,
oh no!
He got. I don't know if you. Oh, okay. And disappearing bodies too. So yeah, in a game like Dark Souls, it's kind of different because it's a roguelike for one. So dying is part of the game, kind of. And it's like arbitrarily difficult.
What the fuck is triangle crouch?
Because it was it. I mean,
oh,
like,
no, triangle is jump.
JPEG grenade.
Triangle is jump.
So what's crouch?
I don't. Oh, it's square.
All right, we're playing this on PS2.
Oh, it's a BAR is what I got. How do I? Can I uncrouch?
Is it? No, that's not a BAR.
So to crouch, you gotta press square. To uncrouch, you gotta press triangle.
Hey, you gotta jump off from the crouch.
Yeah. Fuck me.
But like Horizon Zero Dawn had a good hard difficulty.
Remember, say we will about Call of Duty, but at least it kind of standardized controls.
A little bit. I think Halo established it, and then Call of Duty.
Oh,
like,
Halo had super tight controls.
Yeah.
This game does not have super tight controls. Oh no, it is a Tommy gun. It just fires like a BAR. You know. A Tommy gun.
Yeah, super slow fire rate.
Yeah. You know, just like a Tommy gun.
Yeah.
I still don't know what reload is.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I get. Oh, okay, I use my med kit. What's reload? No, that's not it. No. Oh, fuck's sake.
That was 10 minutes of load screen.
I'm gonna drag you right out of the. Okay, that's melee.
Is there a reload? Just press all the buttons. There's got to be one of them.
Oh, it's X.
Oh yeah, okay, perfect.
I wasn't hitting X because I.
What is that guy doing, man?
I don't know.
What battle is this? Where are we?
So we're in France. We're doing a raid on a German dry dock so that they can't refuel their battleships there. If I'm remembering my history correctly. So we're trying to blow up some of the levees into the dry dock. Okay, well, all right, that's enough for that gun. Fuck these controls! Oh my god, that's gonna be this gameplay. Is oh my god, these controls. Where am I going? Okay, so we gotta retreat back to.
Imagine what your controls were like 14 years ago.
Better.
Remember when you had to move your arm this way in order for it to go out? You had to go out, up, and then forward. Remember before the 2009 update?
Oh no!
Where you could move your arm this way? Nobody can see what I'm talking about.
I'd laugh at your joke, Aaron, but the controls are fucking
and that's the thing, like, back then, arbitrary controls, and it's still kind of a remnant in a lot of, even like Japanese games now.
No.
Shitty controls is a part of the difficulty, and I hate that.
Yeah.
Difficulty should not be the game arbitrarily creating barriers. The difficulty should be presenting you with a challenge and then the player having to come up with creative ways of solving it.
I've successfully escaped. Oh, that's good. Well,
that's
I'm just
good
gonna get back on the
difficulty.
sheet. At least you can lean over.
So we're getting Peggy Carter vibes from this too. The OSS and whatnot. Jesus Christ.
There's a lot of JPEGs there.
Did you watch that show at all?
No, I never watched it. I'm one part of the reason why it was canceled. Okay, well, that's
Adam didn't watch it. And there we go. Mission complete. Oh, you had trouble breaking your mic. Yeah. Prologue complete. Achievement unlocked. 10 out of 10 putting the loading text right in the middle there.
Yeah.
Trouble way after. What's that? Fuck.
At least it loads quickly.
Loads fast. Loads the next level faster than loads the goddamn pause menu.
Sorry, I'm having a drink on my beer. Also, it was arbitrary fucking. It was.
You press circle to save.
Yeah, it's like, do you want to save? Press X for yes. Yes. Are you sure you want to save? Press circle. Yes.
Well, if you overwrite your save in this game, it's your fault.
Raid on Saint Nazaire.
Hmm.
Or Nazarene.
I can't remember this
Saint
game at all,
Nazareth,
really.
is it?
Other than it having one of the greatest soundtracks of a war game of all time.
Yeah.
Even in games, one of the greatest soundtracks in games of all time.
Well, this
I can't remember the game at all.
the theme for this game is better than the theme for Band of Brothers. And Band of Brothers is one of the best. Is the best miniseries I've ever seen.
I haven't seen all of it.
No? Oh my god, it's so good.
David Schwimmer in it. Other than that, I don't know. But like it's the soundtrack is super fucking good. Like I listen to it all the time.
I heard
It would fit Star Wars really well.
Wolfenstein the New Order has a good or the New Colossus.
Oh, spoiled that for me too.
I'm not gonna spoil it. Just think it's a good soundtrack. You fucking asswipe.
Now that you've spoiled the whole game for me.
Attack! Attack! The Germans really aren't giving me any kind of major trouble here.
That's because you're playing it on pleb difficulty.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh god, we're dealing with Nazis here. You can tell because of the swastika.
We're dealing with Nazis.
Alright, well that's it for this gameplay.
Goddamn McMillan again.
Oh, I have one revive left.
Oh man, remember when games had lives?
Yeah, I do actually. It was in better time, an easier time. Oh my god, the aiming.
I hit trouble flicked over. Ubisoft, when you're done making a Viking or Rome-inspired Assassin's Creed game, can you please give Lydia a full game? Because fuck me if I don't want a World War I Assassin's Creed game.
Oh
it's
my
so cool.
god! Did you see him? That guy got fucked. Oh no!
Oh,
Why aren't you dying?
I'm gonna dead.
Fuck these controls! Oh my god. I don't remember the game being this shit.
When did the Thompson have like the drum?
That came later in the war, I believe. I mean, they could have gave it now. It's just they didn't want to give soldiers big drum magazines. It was easier to keep 20-round magazines on their
I
person.
guess, but as a video game, give me more ammo.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because it was made in like the 20s or
Fuck.
something, and then for some reason got distributed amongst the
Gangsters.
public. Yeah, and then it became known as like the gun of choice for mobs and shit.
Yeah.
And I think was maybe the weapons used during the Valentine's Day massacre.
Yeah, I think so. Good toss!
Speaking of watermelon, which sort of
Ooh, health.
changed the face of Al Capone in the eyes of the public. Oh man, I'm
Ooh, a revive.
I love all these JPEGs you can pick up. It's like we're playing Doom.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no.
Also, the Thompson is not an SMG.
What do you mean?
Just to clarify. Well,
Yeah,
it's
it is.
considered a submachine gun, but it's fucking massive.
Oh yeah, but the reason it's submachine gun is because it fires pistol ammunition.
So that's what defines a submachine gun?
Yeah, it's not that it's tiny; it's that it fires smaller rounds.
So what's considered small then? Because if you have a Vector and it fires 45, it's not an SMG anymore, is it?
I think the term has been changed, but back then that's what it meant.
Whatever. I kind of assumed a submachine gun.
Whoa, Nelly!
I guess maybe this is the
God
modern.
damn it!
You still got to revive. Assuming somebody actually picks it up.
All right, there we go.
Oh, that's what you picked up, a revive.
Yeah.
You got a +1. So I guess the modern interpretation of a submachine gun now is just a small assault rifle.
I think so. I mean, you can look it up on your phone what a submachine gun is.
Oh my Jesus. Because a FAMAS, I think, is generally considered to be a rifle, even though it's kind of small. Or like an assault rifle.
Well, I mean, a FAMAS is just bullpup.
Yeah, but is it not considered an assault rifle?
It is considered an assault rifle.
So why is that in a submachine gun?
Because it fires, I believe, 5.56. I think the definition for an assault rifle is it has to fire either 5.56 or 7.62 rounds, and I think submachine guns is anything that fires a caliber under those. And then a light machine gun is anything above that. I'm not sure though.
Submachine gun, yeah, basically what you said. Magazine-fed automatic carbine designed to fire pistol cartridges. So if you have like a fully automatic pistol, is that a submachine gun?
No, I don't know, because most pistols are not meant to be fired fully automatic.
No, but some can be.
Yeah.
Like there's a 93R, a Beretta is fully automatic. Hang on, see. I think
And then you gotta worry about stuff like what is a personal defense weapon, because technically a P90 is a personal defense weapon, not a submachine gun. Same with a Vector.
The term machine pistol is also used to describe handgun-style firearms capable of fully automatic or burst fire, such as the Stechkin, the Beretta 93R, and the HK VP70. Also as PDWs, personal defense weapons, as the FN P90, as you said. FN make a lot of fucking good guns.
Yeah, I don't know that's what they're doing.
They make like
fucking hell. Did you see that?
I saw the end of it. Flying there. So they make the P90, they make the Scar, and all the variations, of course, of the Scar. Anyway, it seems like it's pretty damn muddied at this point.
Oh yeah, I mean the difference between an assault rifle and a battle rifle is academic, and it changes from kind of country to country.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta go.
Because a bullpup just means the magazine is behind the handle.
Yeah.
More or less.
So the magazine is technically in the stock.
So you could have a bullpup SMG.
Oh yeah. The bullpup. I believe the reason for the bullpup was to make it smaller, so that so it would be easier for soldiers to have weapons and helicopters and like APCs and stuff. So you wouldn't have to worry like it would take up just less room, and it's I think they're lighter because it's a smaller gun.
Yeah.
I think it does. I'm not sure.
I think the intention of it is, like you're saying, to have it be smaller, but because the bullets are being fired from further back, you can have a longer barrel in a smaller size.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
It's kind of an ingenious design. Fuck.
You gotta revive. I think
gotta wait for this. Yeah, 0 revives left. God damn.
I won't die then. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I like the FAMAS. The newer ones look alright. Well, not massive on a lot of bullpups, if I'm honest.
I like the bullpups, honestly.
Some of them look a little weird. The AUG is, I don't know.
I like the AUG. I had a chance to fire one of them, but I didn't take it.
Oh yeah. Oh, down at the gun club.
Yeah, I was with my boss shooting once, and
shooting people.
And there was a guy we were shooting there with, and he said, "Hey, I got an AUG. If you guys want to meet up on another," he didn't bring it with him. He was like, "If you want to meet up on a different day," and I was like, "No, that's fine."
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't really want to meet up with a random gun-toting stranger. If I'm honest. Just look up the FN 2000. I think that's a really neat-looking gun. I think that's the main gun of the Belgian army.
Oh yeah, this is in Division. This gun, the FN F2000. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I don't know, I'm not massive on, like, the futuristic styling of these weapons. I mean, it looks like it's from Halo, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the reason why Halo's weapons are all bullpup.
Yeah.
Is because they wanted it to look futuristic. So I believe almost every gun in Halo, including the DMR, the battle rifle, the assault rifle, not the SMGs. The SMGs are not bullpup, but all the other ones are bullpup design. Shotgun is different. Shotgun and sniper rifles are different because I'm not entirely sure if you can do if you can have a bullpup, if there's any bullpup sniper rifles, but I don't see the point.
Might be.
There probably is.
Yeah.
But anyway, the sniper rifle isn't. Obviously the rocket launcher isn't, because that'd be fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, they're kind of not really. Some of them are loaded from the back. The CTAR 21, the Tavor, however you say it. CTAR 21, I think, is pretty cool. Bullpup.
Yeah.
I like that one. And then the FAMAS 2010.
Look up the XM8, the XM8, which was the gun.
Like Mass Effect.
Yeah. I like the look of that gun. That gun had, I mean, that gun was never put into service for a variety of reasons. One of them, which was, I believe, the gun overheated really badly because it was basically made of plastic.
Oh, that's a dumb idea. This one looks pretty interesting. Oh, this is an XM8C conversion.
Yeah, so the reason that
I like that one because the bar on the front, like, it's hard to explain it for the viewers, but like instead of I'll throw up a picture, but the normal XM8 has like the handle or whatever it is curves up from the end of the barrel, but the C, it seems like it's like flat on the top.
Well, the
better.
point behind the XM8 is was supposed to be modular. So with only a few, you wouldn't have. So the entire squad, the idea behind it was the entire squad would be able to have XM8s, and there would be an XM8 LMG, an XM8 light or like a heavy XMG for use as a light machine gun. There'd be a smaller version. There'd be a regular assault rifle version. All the parts would be modular, so you could swap out different parts with different soldiers depending on the gear you use, which is kind of, from my understanding, it was like, yeah, but we have dedicated LMG guys in our squad anyway, and dedicated, grenadiers and stuff. So I don't understand why everyone needs to swap out components and stuff.
Well, yeah, but even then, I think there's still at least now, there's just like a standardized mounting points for a lot of different shit.
Oh yeah, and that's because they want different scopes to be able to be mounted on a bunch of different guns. That just makes sense.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you don't need...
I mean, like, you want a scope to be able to be mounted on, like, the AK-47 and the M16, the M4,
you don't need, like, 20 different modular weapons for that shit. Yo, John, give me your barrel extension or whatever. And then there's, I don't know, I mean, we're getting into assault rifles. The G36 is a nice-looking assault rifle.
Yeah. The, also like the Scar L.
Yeah. Scars are nice. I mean, the XM8 also kind of looks like a Scar.
I think the Scar kind of tumbled out of the XM8 program, or at least it was like, because the Scar is a HK, isn't it?
I think it's
no. Scar is
should be FN.
Yeah, because the HK basically made their own version of a Scar called the M416.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of different versions of the Scar as well.
Fuck.
Yeah, Scar H, Scar L, then there's like the 20, Mark 16, Mark 17, and there's the police versions. The police one actually looks pretty cool.
You're a big fan of the Vector, aren't you?
I like the Vector. I wish it was more useful in Division, because it's kind of not. Just because SMGs in that game are a bit... I don't know, it's a bit like using a hose. And when you're trying to shoot long range, it's kind of useless.
Gunk.
So... But I do really like the Vector. It looks cool. It sounds awesome. I don't know what its actual bullets per minute is. Super fucking fast. I think the issue, if you could get in at least games that the Vector is in, it's a pretty useful gun in Far Cry. But for the most part, it has like a 20 round clip. Or magazine, or whatever the term is, and it's not enough. Like if you're shooting 1,200 rounds a minute, 20 bullets in the clip is not enough.
Well, I mean that's why it's a personal defense weapon, because it's supposed to be like you're supposed to give it to like officers or like helicopter pilots and stuff.
Yeah, which is why in like a military application it kind of falls apart a bit.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a quasi-military thing if I remember correctly. One of the local gun stores had one. Or had a lookalike, and I'm like, is that a real Vector? He's like, no, it's a civilian Vector, and I'm like, okay, if it's civilian, then that silencer can't work. He's like, no, the silencer doesn't work. It's like, okay, it's like also the magazine is limited to 5 rounds, okay, and it's semi-automatic. It's like, okay, so it's not a Vector, it's a hunting rifle that's worse at its job, pretending to be something that it isn't. Like, fuck me.
Yeah, and like it's cool, I guess, because there are pretty heavy restrictions. Us being in Canada. Once again, there's pretty heavy restrictions on the type of weapons that you can own.
Which is good.
But it is good, and it's cool that you can get a Vector, I guess, if you really want one. But that's
a Vector lookalike.
A Vector lookalike. But it's only going to bring out a lot of fucking confusion for people that you bump into while you're hunting.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like,
the cop pulls you over to investigate all the shit that you got, whether you're hunting properly in your papers, and you're holding a fucking Vector. Like, excuse me, sir, you want to put the gun down, please?
Well, it's
just a rifle. Like,
that's the thing is I don't understand these people, like, because in the gun store, because my boss is really into the shooting, so I go to the gun store not rarely, but fairly, once every couple of months, and they'll usually have normal hunting rifles, that sort of stuff, like stuff you would see like normal hunters carrying, and then they have like M4 lookalikes, so they're hunting rifles. They only because in Canada you any hunting rifle is limited to a 5-round magazine. You can't get any more. Anything above that is illegal. Not prohibited or anything. Not restricted. Illegal. And in my opinion, rightfully so. How the fuck do I get out of here? Like I don't understand why the
Why you would want them?
yeah, because like you're out hunting moose with an M16 lookalike. It doesn't matter that it's legal. You're gonna get pulled over by the cops like every time. That's just a lot of hassle, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, depends on where you are. I mean, we live on a big island, so it's pretty easy to go into the woods and
do
not
I go?
run into anybody for days and days. But if you're hunting in the more urban parts of the island, then yeah, it's probably a bad idea to fucking have shit like that.
Although that being said, Canada, in my opinion, generally has pretty good gun culture when it comes to that sort of thing. You know, like there's not a lot of, like there doesn't seem to be that like gun-toting crazy American attitude towards firearms.
Particularly with like using them in defense for things. You know, like
okay, we gotta go through.
You'll hear about a shooting in the States because somebody cut a dude off in traffic and he had a gun with him, so he shot him. Like that doesn't happen here because people don't have guns with them all the time.
Did you see the GIF of the dude? There was a guy on a bike or a guy in a car, and the guy was on a bike who was filming. It was a GoPro in his helmet. And he said, and the car in front of him was stopped at a green light, and he wasn't going. So the guy on the bike started honking his horn, being like, "Come on, move!" or what? I can't remember the specifics. Anyway, he was honking at the dude in the car, and the dude in the car, you just see him kind of like put his head forward for a second, and then get back up, go around, and he starts walking towards the bike, and he's carrying along like a fucking fireman's axe. He's just scraping along the ground like Freddy Krueger. So the guy on the bike backs up immediately. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" And the guy's like, "Are you gonna argue anymore?" He's like, "No, but I want to fucking go." Like Jesus Christ, like an axe. Like, can you imagine that?
Where was that?
It's somewhere in the States.
I don't know. Gun culture is good. It seems like people like guns for guns' sake.
It's not just because, we're so afraid of everything.
Yeah.
It's
not a fear thing. It's like a collection thing.
Yeah, it's like people are just afraid in the States.
Yeah. Guns are cool.
Yeah, guns also scare the shit out of me.
Why that?
I don't know, because they're very dangerous.
Well, they're dangerous, yeah, but they're cool. I'd like to get my handgun license. That guy didn't give a fuck.
No.
Oh, and he still didn't give a fuck? Do you have your firearms license? I would assume so. Or are you allowed to shoot stuff without getting your firearms license at a gun club?
I do have my firearms license.
Well, I mean, I think like if you go to the gun club, you're allowed to, like, you can give them $20 or whatever.
Yeah. You're allowed to shoot in, like, in close ranges. That's where I've been.
It's not like it's an illegal thing.
No, you have to have a gun license in order to carry, in order to own.
But if you're there, somebody there watching you, showing you how to use it.
And I think you have to have a specific license for, like... Fuck. You have to have a very specific license for, like, hang on, what am I...
Hey, there's a physics on it. Look at that. Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, I gotta shoot these.
Oh, okay, I thought it was physics. No physics in this fucking game. It's all scripted and moving about.
Yeah, so I think if you own like a place that allows shooting, like a gun range or whatever, you have to have like special licenses to be like, people can fuck, I'm out of ammo. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of places. There's a gun shop that has a gun range. I don't know if they let you shoot there if you don't own anything.
You do. You can go in and rent handguns and stuff and shoot. And I think you can even shoot their AR-15. The dudes at that gun store, by the way, are pretty good when it comes to like that sort of thing.
You're talking about the.
Oh,
you're talking about Complete.
Yeah, Complete Gunsmith and Repairs.
Under the bridge.
They're pretty good when it comes to gun safety and stuff. Like they don't take any shit and they know their stuff. They're not nuts or anything.
No, they're good.
Again, I'm not a gun culture nut or anything.
I brought my guns there a couple times to get them cleaned. And they got, they have a bar, like not like a liquor bar or anything, but literally a
like
British
BAR.
Yeah, BAR, like hung over the door and an MG and stuff. I don't know.
Browning automatic rifles.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was British assault rifle because it's really fucking.
It's technically not an assault rifle. I don't know why it isn't, but it's technically not an assault rifle.
So it was a Browning what?
Browning automatic rifle.
Oh. Well, whatever. Oh, yeah, you get 3 revives.
Yeah. I think you get revives if you do like optional objectives.
Oh, maybe. Anyway, it's a cool store. I bought a couple of guns from them. They're nice dudes. Hell, it's been a long time since I've been there because...
Some of the stuff they stock, though, I gotta take questions. Like, obviously, like, people are buying it. is that that kind of thing. Like,
well, yeah, they're gonna order what people want.
but at the same time, they have like a which is still technically legal. Oh, that guy got fucked. It's a 50 caliber sniper rifle. It's only 5-round magazines. But
You
it
get a
is
50 cal legally.
I believe it's restricted because it only has 5-round magazines and it's bolt action. I believe it's legal. And people, somebody went in and bought it, and I asked the guy, like, why would you buy it? He's like, hunting bears. I'm like, what the fuck kind of bears are you hunting? You're hunting, oh yeah, those up-armored bears.
It's not hunting bears, you're hunting bears
Jesus.
and you also want the gun to quarter them for you.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. That's all that's gonna happen. I don't know, it's kind of like...
there's no reason a civilian needs a 50
No, but I don't say
round.
that's why they order shit like that.
Oh yeah, it's because there's a demand, but like...
No, I would say they order a gun like that because it's cool. You own a gun store, you're gonna order whatever the fuck you can get.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck it, let's order this. Somebody might buy it.
No, I agree. I mean, they can order whatever they want.
And that's the same for me. Like, I want a handgun, not to use it. I just want a handgun. Like, if I had a Beretta or a Colt or something, like, that's cool to me.
Yeah.
Like it's not the idea of like being able to kill stuff with it that interests me. It's like the history and the technology involved.
That's why I kind of want to own
that's why
like certain
I love
swords. Like
stuff.
I would love to own like an actual like historical Japanese katana
Hmm.
because like katanas are very interesting because of how they were made in terms of the folding of the steel was used to get out the imperfections of the steel before they really had developed the sophisticated techniques to superheat the steel to get out the imperfections that way. They just layered it and layered it and layered to get out the
This
imperfections.
guy looking at you like, why aren't you doing anything?
So that's why I want to own one of them. But again, like that's more of a historical thing. I don't
Yeah.
know where we're getting shot from anyway.
That's why I bought my katana. Now I couldn't, I'm a weeb, of course, and I got my fedora and everything, but
Yeah.
I couldn't find one as like historically accurate or.
Well, it's hard unless you're willing to pay like a lot of money.
Yeah, I forget how much that one was. I think it was like $300 or something.
So the aiming is off in this game.
Yeah. It's cool to have stuff like that. It's just a nice collection of stuff. They even got some bayonets and stuff from old like I think from like World War I weapons. Getting into a whole history buff episode here.
There was a little while ago the Canadian government had in Ontario had an amnesty. The police so it was like the Mounties in Ontario were like, we're gonna have a gun amnesty or weapon amnesty. If you bring in any firearms, even if they're illegal or whatever. We will take as long as you give them to us, and you're not gonna get them back. We just want to get these off out of people's hands. We will ask no questions. So like, bring in whatever it is, no matter how illegal. We won't there's gonna be no trouble for you. The amount of shit that they got in with the sound. Apparently, the among the wilder stuff was they got a Klingon batleth, which is the Klingon sword. They got an RPG.
Why is that illegal?
It wasn't. The guy just wanted to get rid of it. He didn't know how to get rid of it, so he just brought it in. The guys were like, yeah, sure. They got a bunch of hand grenades. They got, I think they got one of the, I forget what it is, like the M203 rotary grenade launcher. They got one of them. They got an RPG-7 with three grenades.
Jesus Christ.
What else did they get?
What a great idea for a government, though. Just like have an amnesty day or something, where it's like, you can bring in whatever you want. Doesn't matter what it is, weapons or drugs or whatever, and just see all the random shit that you get.
Yeah.
It's like you can do whatever you want today. No felonies. No criminal activity recorded.
Yeah. That would be pretty good. Oh shit. Where am I getting shot from?
I would be curious to see the type of shit around here because
there's some wild shit around here. I won't say
people like
where
to collect stuff.
I won't say where I've seen it to, but I've seen some interesting stuff go. Because obviously I'm dealing with clients and stuff in my job, and some of the stuff I've seen, not even just like guns, but just like shit in people's basements. Like there was this one guy who was he's like, I was like, Adam, you're a nerd, right? Like you're into Star Wars and stuff. I'm like, yeah. He's like this.
I have a real lightsaber. Don't tell anybody.
No, but the guy was like, this client has a pretty cool collection in his basement. Do you want to see? And I was like, yeah. And apparently his son, like back in the day, was really into Star Wars. So he has like a bunch of the old action figures and stuff.
Oh yeah, nice.
And he
Andrew
had
a ton of those too.
He gave the son. He was like, do you think this is worth anything?
Christ.
And it was an original Millennium episode like new Star Wars: A New Hope. Millennium Falcon, like 1977 or 1980. Sorry, it was Empire Strikes Back. 1980 Millennium Falcon playset, complete with Han Solo, C-3PO, Leia, and Chewbacca. And he had a bunch of figures in there, like the old school little tiny figures. It was awesome. And he's like, "Do you think that's worth anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's worth a lot. You're gonna wanna." You're gonna
see Adam's eyebrows like shoot up. Be like, "Nope."
I'm like the comic book guy.
It might be worth like $20. I'll give you 30 for it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Okay, sure."
That's a good deal. No, I wouldn't do that to a client.
One of my buddies actually in town has an AT-AT that's like, I don't know, higher than a coffee table, maybe like 2 or 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah?
It's like a massive AT-AT thing.
That's awesome.
I think he got it when he was a kid, and he ended up finding it recently in like in the parents' attic or something like that. It's like, yeah, it's really fucking cool. You know, it's not like shitty Chinese plastic, but...
Oh, yeah. Well, there was, supposedly, awesome. I don't know how true this is, but I read a rumor that one of the rarest toys in existence was, back in the day, they used to, Star Wars toys wouldn't, the Jedi, they wouldn't be able to take, like, the lightsaber wasn't a separate piece, it was part of the mold. Luke would come with his green lightsaber, and you couldn't swap that out for a different kind of lightsaber. He would just, like, that would be part of his hand.
The blade was part of it as well.
Yeah, yeah. Like, the whole thing was just part, like, you couldn't take the lightsaber out, it was part of the figure. Apparently, there was a number of Darth Vader... I don't know how true this is. There was a number of Darth Vader shipped to...
What, green lightsabers?
Yeah, they were green lightsabers. And apparently, like, they're considered, like, one of the rarer toys. Or at least that's what I read in Star Wars' official magazine when I used to have a subscription to that.
I mean, how would you... Star Wars... I mean, how would you... Like, if it was one piece... I mean, couldn't somebody just paint over it?
They could, but I mean, like, there are experts that would be able to tell if, like, stuff's been tampered with.
Like if it's not the right color, green or something.
Yeah. Or they could, like, scrape it off. Like, they would have ways of being like, this is the original paint.
Yeah.
Generally, a show that I like watching is Antiques Roadshow. Because I love seeing some of the shit that people bring in. Because some of it's, like, just worthless crap.
Especially considering there's, like, nothing else on TV nowadays.
Well, yeah. But some of it's also, like, it's nice because it's actual, like, history as opposed to, like, the History Channel, which is like, let's show Shark Week. I'm like, you're the History Channel. It's like this week, and next, coming up on the History Channel, All-American Ice Road Truckers. I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah, and then American Top Gear.
Yeah.
It's not history at all. All right.
But anyway, there was one guy who, he was an old vet, like a Vietnam vet, and he said, yeah, I was going through some of my grandfather's things, and I found this old blanket in the basement, and I figured, hey, what the hell, I might as well see what this is. So he went to see...
It was Aladdin's carpet?
No. Oh. It was an Indian, it was like a traditional Native, he called it an Indian, it was a traditional Native American, like, peace blanket, and then it was ended up worth like something like $2.5 million he got for it, and so he was able to pay for all of his medical bills and stuff. It's actually a really touching story, and he's like, I was just hoping to pawn this off for enough money to cover next month's bills, and he like completely wiped out all of his debt. It was like such a cool story. Yeah,
and then there's the opposite where somebody brings in this turbo elaborate looking thing. They're like, it's like from Walmart from 20 years ago. It's worth like $5.
Yeah.
I go, oh, this has been in my family for 1,000 years somehow.
Well, it's not because it's from Walmart. It even says made in China on the bottom. The coolest
has the price tag on it. It says winners or something.
The coolest thing I ever found was in anything is I used to run a book sale for my church when I was that was the thing, and my like most of the books were just stuff like like Tom Clancy books or like Twilight or really popular books, that sort of thing, David Baldacci. But occasionally we get some really old or interesting books, and somebody brought in, I'm not kidding, a bunch of 1980 versions of nautical maps. So it's just like here's how many fathoms it is like between this point and this point in Newfoundland. I'm just like, we can't sell this. So I brought it to the university to see if like they could use it. Like, no, this is like, we have copies of this, just get rid of it. And I'm like, oh, okay. But one thing that I did find was a book that was so old. It's Daubre and Sons by Charles Dickens, and it's so old it has an advertisement for soap on the back cover. Like the back cover is just like, do you like washing with soap? Try like Jenkins soap or whatever the fuck. I have pictures of it on my phone. Hang on, let me pause the game and I'll get it out for Aaron. It's pretty cool. It's a Charles Dickens book. It's not one of his better known ones, but I still thought it was pretty cool.
Ivy soap.
It's also so old that it doesn't. You know how like most books have like this was printed here, like this was printed like a print date or whatever.
Yeah.
But and like the name of the publisher and that kind of stuff in the front cover. That book doesn't have it. We couldn't find it. So if Antiques Roadshow ever comes here, I'm gonna see, because I don't think it's worth any money or anything. I just want to find out the history behind it, because I tried googling that soap company and I couldn't find any information.
And they'll just embarrass you. Like, this is worthless. I don't know why you brought this on here. They're like, I just wanted to know this.
Well, I mean, they only.
No.
I mean, on the show, they only really show like the stuff that's like interesting. Like if it was worthless.
Sometimes
like,
they show dog shit though.
Well, I suppose, yeah.
Because then you can't have everything be turbo worthwhile. Half the shit, like, they'll show you one and then they skip through like 5 to show you the value of it. And then they show you another one. And like half the time the ones that they skip over, it's like, this tissue paper is worth $97,000. Anyway, going on to the next thing, like, why was it so fucking expensive? Fucking explain it. Talking about maps, though, I ended up having to edit recently for a client a map from, I think it was 1720.
Really?
Newfoundland, yeah.
That's cool.
It was like a hand-drawn map of Newfoundland, and it's like the shape of the island is not at all accurate. It's like super distorted.
No.
Like the base of the island, like over where like Stephenville, Burgeo area, like that chunk is super close to the Avalon on this map, and then it's just like, it's like super tall. It almost looks like the British Isles in a way. How turbo tall it is.
Well, it's great. It's interesting to go back and see, because I have like an old, like I just got it like a, no, Sandy gave it to me. Sandy gave me this thing. It was from a like a rubbish. It was he had an extra copy. It was like a world map of like circa like 1500s or whatever, and like everything's super in Africa. Like Africa's so small,
Yeah.
America's all wonky looking, and it's great. I love looking at shit like that. There was an episode of The West Wing, which was a show about a Democratic president in the White House and kind of like the day-to-day business
All
of
these
like the White
buddies
House
standing
staff.
inside of you.
There was an episode where President Bartlett, which is the name of the president in the show, is a big history buff. Like he loves history and he's a very intelligent individual. Somebody gave him a map of the world from like, it was like an official map, like it was like not a replica, but it was like an actual historical map from like the 1400s, and it was like it showed like Marco Polo's journey in the Silk Roads and all that kind of stuff. It's like, oh man, that's so cool. I want to like put that up in somewhere in the Oval Office or like somewhere where we like, because it's a big historical artifact. And the people were like, you can't put that up. And he's like, why? He's like, because Israel isn't on the map. And he's like, but Israel didn't exist in the 1400s. That wasn't a state. And he's like, yeah, but if you put this map up, you're gonna be telling people that you don't support Israel. It's like, but I do support Israel. I just gave them a bunch of. I said so in like a speech last week that I reaffirm my support for Israel. He's like, yeah, but you can't put that map up. It was like so fucking stupid but people would take it that way. Oh, it was just so fucking sad.
The fuck are we? Inside like the hyperdrive of his Imperial Star Destroyer or what? Yeah. Oh, politics are all fucked.
Like, people need to fuck off. Like, if it's a historical map from, like, the 1400s, like, you can, like, it's alright if Israel, like, I won't be offended if Canada's not on that map, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Canada.
How did they get in behind us?
Are we on a boat? What is this?
No, I think this is the power plant for the dry dock, because this is a dry dock we're at.
Okay.
We gotta put, okay, well, I'll just
Blow up stuff again.
Also, your character moves so slow, and I don't think there's a sprint.
It's 2005. People hadn't started running yet.
So there's a bit of chop there.
Solid 18 frames a second.
I mean, I shared a video with one of our Discord chats last night that you're in, Aaron, where they were talking about the history of steel. That was a pretty interesting video.
Yeah, I watched most of it. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I love shit like that, like figuring out like when stuff was made or why, all that kind of stuff. Like 10 grenades, fuck me. And how stuff, like, it's really interesting to see how like the ancient Egyptian civilization prospered, and because it was all based on the Nile and the cycles of the daily, the yearly cycle of flooding of the Nile was able to flourish the Egyptian civilization, and because of that, their entire religion and way of being is very cyclical. So all their major cyclic themes in their religion and culture, and it's all because of the Nile, and because the Nile was the source of everything. Like all life, their entire civilization was based on the Nile, and so it's just interesting to see that that's why
Yeah.
where all that came from. I love history, man.
That's
History is
what,
like my
that's what was
favorite.
great about Origins. You should
I really should.
you should play Origins even just for the tour stuff, because they go through all that. Like, there are so many different, like, educational tours in that game that you can just, like, walk through the life of, like, literally what Egyptians did. Like, mining stuff and where they got food and how they did, like, how they looked after, like, burials and all that kind of thing. It's really well done. And, like, the world itself is very interesting. Ubisoft did a pretty good job with that. Even just, like, the main single player of the game, if you just play through the story, like the dungeons, and not really dungeons but tombs, like you can go into the pyramids and then there's like puzzle. It's pretty good. It's almost like Tomb Raider level.
I've heard good things. I did want to. It does look interesting. I didn't stop playing because I didn't like it. I stopped playing because I was burnt. Yeah, I have it. Like I just got burnt out from open world games. And I remember I was playing and I made the mistake of looking at the size of the map and I'm like, oh, okay, I can't do this because I just finished playing like Far Cry. And a couple of other games, and I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't do another game where I'm just on a map running from different objectives. And I'm sure the game isn't this, but I was like, at the time I was like, I just can't deal with, like, you gotta find all 12 of my cats scattered around the map in really inconvenient areas, and I'm like,
not really.
do
I mean,
Do I
there's
gotta find
the main story
find 1,000
missions.
feathers to get this special thing.
There's not really any like. There might be one or two quests that rely on like you start them and then you can finish them, and when you finish the game.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the story missions are all just kind of where they are. You might need to do some side missions to like progress to the next bit, but for the most part, you can just fly through the story. But I do get to an open world game and look at it and go like, I don't want to have shit I haven't done on the map.
Yeah.
I want to do all of it. So
I can't think like that because I'll just drive myself
Yeah.
nuts. So I just get to a point where like I do most of the main objectives, but if it's like, oh, I have a quest for you, hero of legend. It's like, what is it, ma'am? It's like, you need me to go slay some dragons? No, there's 25,000 puzzle pieces scattered throughout the realm. Find and collect them all. I think that's the reason I didn't like games like Banjo-Kazooie, because I hate fucking collectathons. Like, fuck,
Yeah.
no.
It actually wasn't too bad. The collectibles in Origins and even Odyssey aren't like gratuitous things. They're like weapons that you can use. So like you get higher level gear, essentially, is what you get, like random weapon drops. So you don't even need to do them if you have decent weapons.
Anyway, will we call it there?
Yeah, we can wrap this up.
All right. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll be back next week with another video.
Man, maybe we'll play this again in 2 years.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a fun game.
Yeah. I'll let you play next time.
Oh, man. PS2.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
See you next time.